It's quiet at the Citadel this morning. There's only one charter train today, the Northern Belle Royal Yacht Britannia, and it's diesel hauled, not steam. It left crew at 06:15, picking up at Warrington and Liverpool, before heading in our direction for its ultimate destination, Edinburgh. It's scheduled to stop briefly in Platform 3 for a crew change. It doesn't return until 7:45 tonight. So, a long day to fill in. I'm all set up on Platform 3 when, 6 minutes ahead of schedule, I hear the distinctive sound of a Class 57 diesel behind me on Platform 1. A late-running Transpennine Express, also Edinburgh bound, has been given the road ahead of the charter. Well, it will be running 30 miles per hour faster and has far greater accelerative power than the elderly diesel. With the Transpennine safely on its way, it's only a minute or so before the Pullman is given the road and it can set off towards the capital city. How to fill in the long hours before the charter's return. I had planned for a coastal walk between Harrington and Whitehaven, about 6 miles, with some filming and a pub lunch thrown in. But the weather isn't living up to the promises made by the BBC this morning. Shall I gamble on it? As I ponder the matter, a train of tanks from Workington Port passes through on its way to Aberdeen, and I make my decision.
Barrow in Furness. The next station stop is Dalston.
We cross the old Carlisle avoiding line and enter the 10 miles per hour restricted curve of the Maryport and Carlisle.
Stop, is it?
Harrington,
Not a request stop.
No, it's not. I think it used to be years ago. No, definitely not a request stop. Right.
Curragh Junction, and now the driver can open up and let rip.
This is Dalston.
One of the many things that I love about this route is the long mileages of jointed track. Yesterday's technology alive and well.
This is Wigton. This is Aspatria.
Aspatria or Aspatria? Both pronunciations seem to be in common use.
This is Maryport.
Maryport, a single platform station.
Welcome aboard this Northern Service to Barrow-in-Furness. The next station stop is Flimby.
That rain is looking most unpromising. And how appropriate that it should appear just before Flimby. My regular viewers will know all about the curse of Flimby. Now we begin to run right along the shore. I don't know of any other railway line in Britain which offers such an extensive mileage of travel at the very edge of the sea as the Cumbrian coast route, and yet it's very little known by most of the population.
This is Flimby.
Until very recently, Flimby was one of several request stops, but it seems to have become a mandatory stop now.
Welcome aboard this Northern Service to Barrow-in-Furness. The next station.
Just a mile or so beyond Flimby, we pass the remains of the old St. Helens Colliery Halt, where in 2021 a sudden downpour caught me unprepared and cost me a camera. Workington, for long a major industrial centre, with coal, iron and steel, and producing many of the rails used by railways not only in Britain, but around the world.
Welcome aboard this Northern Service to Barrow-in-Furness. The next station stop is Harrington.
I decide to gamble on the weather and jump ship at Harrington. Visibility is improving. I can now see Criffel Hill on the Scottish coast. Little remains to show that this was a major industrial area a century or more ago, but some traces can still be found. There below us lies Parton. Approaching Whitehaven, I detour from the coastal path to visit the site of the old William colliery and pay tribute to the many men, yes, and women and children too, who gave their lives to fueling the Industrial Revolution. A regular hourly train from Carlisle to Barrow-in-Furness pulls into platform 2 of Whitehaven station. Trains starting from here, such as my 6 o'clock return this evening, use the bay platform 1. The coastal line is single-tracked from here to Sellafield, 12 miles south, with a passing place at St. Bees. As the passengers alight, the driver must obtain a token from the cabinet on the platform before the signal can be cleared for his train to proceed. The signal box is some distance away from the station, so communication between driver and signalman is by a telephone housed in the cabinet. The guard closes the doors, then checks that the signal is clear before pressing the buzzer that authorises the driver to continue on his journey. As the train disappears into the almost 1 mile length of the tunnel under Castle Park, let's have a brief look at Whitehaven. One immediately notices the odd colour of the water in the inner harbour. This is believed to be due to water leaching from old mine workings. Nothing has been definitely established as yet. I prefer my own explanation, that one of Heinz tomato soup tankers sank in the harbour. Whitehaven's most prominent landmark is the Candlestick Chimney. It's widely believed to have been built as a ventilation shaft for Wellington Pit, and is reputed to have been designed after a favourite candlestick owned by the Countess of Lonsdale, whose home was Whitehaven Castle. According to a local mine surveyor, however, it was actually a boiler house chimney. When the pit closed, a pipe was fed into it to allow gases to escape from the old workings into the atmosphere at a safe height. The Beacon Museum. The low white building on the corner is the Wetherspoon Pub, the Branstey Arch, and it's here that I'll retire to enjoy a meal and a couple of pints before heading back to the station and my return train to Carlisle. Once again, a last-minute change of platform, thwarting all of our plans.
Purely a stop going over.
The return journey will call at Crewe first, and then terminate at Liverpool Lime Street. After a long, long day, I now face an hour and a half's wait for my train, a 40-minute trip to Dumfries, and then a drive home.
And here comes the pendulum.
Thanks for watching to those of you who've made it all the way to the end, and here's to the next time.